which they're troubleshooting, trying to see whether that faceplate has heat or not. The face visor has 111 tiny wires in there to prevent fogging and ice. So there's an issue with that, the precise nature of which we're not sure. But they're troubleshooting that, trying to work that out, see what it is. Temperature inside the capsule now, 51 degrees. So that's warm enough in the capsule. Looking skyward, so that's from underneath the capsule, looking up. Kissinger spoke about how black that sky is. Out of an altitude, he said, looking at that, it goes into a deep, deep, dark, indescribable blue, which no artist can ever duplicate. Then he added, it's fantastic. Capsule has slowed to 14 miles an hour, heading at about approximately 50 miles, maybe a little farther than that because it was pushed along by those extremely high winds in the jet stream. And now is drifting back in this direction. Transpired so far on this momentous day. There is the capsule shortly after midnight tonight. As it came out of the hangar, the helium and big tanks delivered to the launch pad in the dark, in the capsule. All of this earlier today. This was as the sun rose over Roswell, and there was the beginning of the inflation of this giant balloon. Here again, choreography of that beautiful liftoff. And this again earlier today, Baumgartner's mother. So earlier today, they said it would take about 2 hours to reach what they call the float altitude. Float altitude is the altitude at which the balloon stops rising and levels off. And you can't really control a balloon. We talked a little bit earlier about dropping some ballast. So you can control the altitude a little bit that way. Baumgartner will dump the pressure in the capsule, step out onto the little porch. So you see how that heat is rising outside now, the temperature is dropping, and actually reducing the distance to the sun. The atmosphere, or stratosphere in this case, slowly begins to warm again. That'd be 2,000 feet now, 28,000 meters. In the face visor, the 8.9 psi inside the capsule. PSI at the level of the Earth is 14.7. So we're traveling up. It's up a pretty good clip, 1,000 feet per minute. That was speed right to the start. Really slowing down up in this higher altitude. Not too long before we hit the 100,000 foot line. on the faceplate visor, considering options, but they are still on the ascent at this point. Now, we mentioned when we reached the altitude at which Baumgartner had jumped back in March. Now we're approaching 18.5 mile jump that was back in July. Here again, you see that dark sky and the curvature, which is somewhat falsely. People who've been that high say that you can begin to see the curvature of the air from up around 70,000, 80,000 feet above the earth, and you certainly see that darkening of the sky. Now 1 hour and 42 minutes into what had been estimated to be a 2-hour climb up to 120, maybe as high as 130,000 feet. A lot of media here covering this event today. There's an infrared shot of the balloon, and it's beginning to change shape now as it gets into that high altitude. We've talked about how it starts out as a teardrop and then expands into a big fat shape. It'll get much fatter than that by the time it gets up to 120,000 feet. So the video of today's events here are being transmitted live. Coming up on an hour, Baumgartner's July jump, which stands as the second highest jump from a balloon ever. High altitude experimental program was from 19 miles up, more than 19 miles, 102,800. So again, to review the records, Kittinger's jump stands as the highest jump, the fastest free fall at 614 miles an hour, still shy, however, of Mach, the speed of sound, and the longest lasting free fall at 4 minutes and 36 seconds. Highest jump to date, the 97,000 feet. So this is higher than Felix Baumgartner has ever been before. Temperature inside the capsule, 51 degrees Fahrenheit. And outside, it continues to warm, so it's 16 degrees below Fahrenheit. Up where he jumps, it'll be even warmer than that. If you could say even warmer, about something that far below zero. And not as bad as that 90 degrees below zero, 90-some degrees that it was outside at 70,000 feet. Capsule air there, right about where they want it. In our graphic, we tried to arrange those colors so that the green in the center means safe, where they want it, and the reds on the outside would be more in the area of question or risky area. Vertical track still going up, more than 1,000 feet a minute, just slightly more. All the way down. So that's scrubland of eastern New Mexico. Here back in 1916. He had some trouble during that jump. His glove tore, exposing a part of his hand. And he didn't tell the people on the ground about it because he was afraid they'd abort the flight, make him come back down in the capsule if he told them. So he didn't tell them, and he went up to altitude with that little tear in the glove. But what happens is that the pressure from outside was enough to hold the glove close to his skin to prevent terrible trouble. What did happen, his hands swelled. What they say was almost twice the size of a normal hand. But he managed to operate all right. He couldn't do anything with that hand, but he was all right, and he made the free fall successfully. He also had a little problem coming down. He choked for a while, didn't catch his breath, and later he wasn't ever sure what that was about, just for a few brief moments. But he thought perhaps it was from a tie-down strap that tied his helmet to his pressure suit. So his next mark will be the record highest manned balloon flight ever, which was actually set a year before those hit records for 61 by those naval flyers that I mentioned, Malcolm Ross and Victor Prather, and they developed successful descents in the balloon. But after that, in the course of the helicopter rescue, slipped off the helicopter sling and died. That step you're looking down at is the step that Baumgartner goes out on when he prepares to jump. And it is only the size of a skateboard. You're looking down from the top of the capsule step. Hold on to the rails and drop from there. So no one is precisely sure as it floats up. It was calculated mathematically to stop at about 120,000 feet, maybe 125,000 feet. But in the previous two jumps, the balloon has gone higher than mission control calculated. Those were Baumgartner's previous two jumps earlier this year. Air mission control, the team, still working that issue of the trouble with the heat in the faceplate, the visor. Considering the options of what to do, not to have. Trying to analyze what the source of it is. What the basic problem was reported as at least Baumgartner's perception that the visor was not heating as it should. This is Red Bull Stratos, mission to the edge of space, coming to you live from Roswell, New Mexico. Problem for the moment in the capsule, but would be an issue on jumping. Mission for the time being is continuing as the team considers whether they are 2 hours into this mission now, pushing 110,000 feet in altitude. So the next record marked to watch here is the record highest altitude for a manned balloon flight. As we mentioned, 113,740 feet. That U.S. Navy balloon mission in the experimental program back in 1961. So the balloon, on lifting off, floated to the east. Now well through the 110,000 mark, 110,000 New Mexico on the eastern side of the state already. So it floated farther to the east, toward the border with Texas, and then on reaching 80,000 feet or so, the wind shifted and it's now headed somewhat back in our direction, in the direction of Roswell. Mission continuing now, coming up on 2 hours. There's a shot from inside the capsule. You see his checklist up there on the side of the capsule. Now we passed the 2 hour mark. There it is from outside. Again, notice how the shape of that balloon has changed. Baumgartner with that visor down. He had been blinded by the glare. In fact, that was a flight full of problems for his record jump. Sun blinded him, he couldn't see the gondola instruments, had a hard time jumping off. Then his drogue chute deployed too soon. 3 seconds into the drop instead of 20 seconds in, wrapped around his neck and he started spinning arms out and lost consciousness briefly. But at about 12,000 feet, his main chute opened automatically, and he successfully landed. So we're coming up on this record. The manned balloon flight of 113,740 feet set back in 1961. Infrared shot. So he's through it now. Set the record. So this is the highest any human being has ever gone in a balloon, or hauled aloft by a balloon. New record holder is Felix Baumgartner. So that is the first of the records he was shooting for today. Continuing to troubleshoot, try to analyze, go through options for what to do about the problem with the face visor. That shot of the balloon being made from here at Mission Control. So that's remarkable. Let's see, 114,000 feet up. So that's more than 21 miles up. And we're out about 40 miles from Roswell. So that's being shot by the camera here. Shows what those long lenses can do. 2 hours and 3 minutes into the flight. Somebody had guessed beforehand that it really might take about 2 hours and 18 minutes to get up to flight level. That was Luke Aikens, who's a skydiving consultant of the mission, skydiving consultant, an accomplished skydiver himself. So Aikens guessed that it would be about 2 hours and 18 minutes to get up to the float. It's about 7 years ago that this idea was first explored. This particular project began formally 5 years ago. Capsule built back in 2008. Suit finished in 2009. Then the next year in 2010, there were wind tunnel tests and bungee jumps for technique, figuring out how to jump off, try to free fall at the highest speed possible, but the safest method too, the safest posture for that jump. And there were preliminary jumps already back then in 2010. We were testing pressure chambers, simulating the maximum altitude, done at Brooks City Base in Texas. Leading up to those 2 jumps earlier this year, Baumgartner's jump in March of 71,000 feet and his jump in July of 96,000. That's because of that thin air up there, and the differential is becoming less and less between the helium in the balloon and the thin air outside the balloon. So as it does, the ascent rate slows. Temperature inside the capsule, 52 Fahrenheit, and outside, -2. So we mentioned that it would be warmer as he goes up. And that's it. There's a tracking camera with long telescopic lens, 1,000 feet. And just look at the size. It's approaching now its maximum volume inside, expanding, that helium expanding to nearly 30 million cubic feet. Look, would be up around 125,000 feet. So a little less than 10,000 feet higher than we are right now. There we are looking down at eastern New Mexico. I believe that's the ridge that you're seeing out there as this country, an escarpment, the Muscalero Ridge. It's a kind of a cliff in that jagged shape that you see there, maybe 75, 100 feet high, a differential between the lower land on the one side and the higher land on the other. There's looking up at that balloon into the high altitude sky, approaching 120,000 feet, and if the calculations of the meteorologists are correct, we are about below the freezing mark, 16 below centigrade. And air pressure 8 in the capsule and 0.1 outside. Balloon is still floating up. It's now above what had been set as sort of the mythical float rate or maximum altitude of 120,000, so it's going up. Going up slowly, almost stopping. 8 miles an hour up now. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's the speed across the ground. 8 miles an hour. So troubleshooting the issue with the heat on the faceplate or visor. Again, 50-some degrees in the capsule, so it's not a problem for there. But it's a problem for exiting the capsule. So in the preps for the jump, they'll check all the systems in this checklist they're about to do. Depressurize the capsule with 2 steps. Depressurize it some to make sure that his pressure suit is inflating as it's supposed to be, and then depressurize it the rest of the way so that he can open the door. And then when he opens the door, preparation for that, he'll cut after he opens the door, he'll cut the oxygen supply, which he's now getting from tanks on the capsule. The meteorologist is suggesting that they let the capsule continue to climb. He notes that it is still climbing. Still, it's regained its speed. It started to slow, and now it's regained its rate of climb, back to 1,000 feet a minute. Now they're going to open a valve at the top of the balloon and vent a little helium. That's to stop that ascent. The balloon has special valves on the top, and they can open those valves going up at 2,000 feet a minute now.
Felix, let me know when I can start this day.
Very fast.
Egress check. I need to know when we can start the egress check.
Triple Kittinger, capsule communicator, wants to get started on the...
Nabliżała momenta.
They'll make a little test, close off the oxygen from the capsule and try out the oxygen from his bailout bottles very quickly. Still going up, 127,000 feet now. So that is higher than 24 miles up, at which point Baumgartner's pressure suits should automatically begin to inflate. So they do it halfway to make sure it's going to inflate. And then they dump the rest of the pressure to equalize the pressure in the capsule to what it is outside. Because now he'll be protected by his pressure suit. Then Felix will open the door. We'll slide the seat back and forth a little bit.
Let me know when I can start the egress check.
Kittinger will do that where he looks at on the camera to see that the parachute on Baumgartner's back is okay.
Capsule already down, my face. Shield heated, and hopefully it's not freezing up.
Okay, confirm you're ready to start the egress check.
Said something there about the heat and the visor. He's getting the heat.
Okay, Joe, already.
Okay, here we go. Felix, item 1. Depressurize the suit, reinstall hose and cover. I need you to respond, Felix. Respond to my commands. Item 1, depressurize the suit, reinstall hose and cover. Felix, confirm. Depressurize suit, reinstall hose and cover. Over. Attaboy. Item 2, check bailout bottle pressure.
Both bailout bottles looking good, and these listen to flight.
Thank you. Check location and security of all 4 parachute handles.
All 4 process hands for check.
Okay, thank you. Now, item 4, check door stop to open.
First stop is open. I can breathe the breeze. Repeat, door stop is open. I can read the green.
Thank you. Item 5, stow hand warmer. Turn capsule switch F6 off. Foxtrot 6 off.
And Palmer stowed. And Fox and 6 off.
Thank you, Felix. Item 6, activate suit and chest pack camera.
the transfer cameras are on the computer in place.
Thank you. Item 7.
Follow monitor and position.
Item 8. Remove UCD hose, close valve, and zip pocket shut.
Computer is removed. Closed and pocket is shut.
Thank you. Item 9, turn O2 and into flow valves to the closed position. Thank you. Item 10, we're going to skip because your sunshade is already down. Item 11, remove vent tube from feeding port. Item 12, set visor heat to full power. Now, we would have done that. I already did. I'm sorry. Felix, item 12, set visor heat to full power. Verify chest pack red LED is on.
Full power and face is red LED is on.
Thank you, Felix. Item 13, verify face seal tight. Item 14, move seat to the fourth position.
Seated to the fourth position.
Okay, item 15, turn off liquid oxygen supply levers 1 and 2. Return the oxygen supply levers back on. Item 18, system pressure 70 psi. Item 20, adjust helmet tie down. Use the duct valve, depressurize the capsule to 40,000 feet, and confirm a pressure suit inflation. Let me know when it inflates. And let me know when your suit pressurizes.
dropping as he potentially lowers the air pressure in the capsule. And now he's confirming that the suit has
Felix has confirmed that your pressure suit is inflated. Thank you, Felix.
So that's all working as it's supposed to.
Remove and stow suit vent hose and suit exhaust hose. Okay, Felix, from now on it gets really serious because we're getting ready to depress.
Attention on the net, this is Mission Control. Felix is depressurizing the Stratus capsule to ambient outside barometric pressure. He's at an altitude of 127,900 feet.
So the air outside there is so thin that it's a virtual vacuum.
Yeah, super!
Which means that as Felix jumps, there's no resistance. And for the first part of the jump, can't control his position. So what has to open?
25. Roll the door open.
The door has
the
opened.
door stop, Felix. Okay, item 26. Move seat to the rear of capsule. Item 27. Lift legs into the door threshold. Item 28. Slide the seat forward. Okay, item 29, release seat belt. Item 29, Felix, release the seat belt. Attaboy, that's good. Okay, slide it forward into the rest position. Go a little bit further forward so we can check your shoe. Your shoe's okay, Felix. I say it again. Item 31. Your shoe integrity is checked. Your parachutes. Give me a thumbs up if they're disconnected. I don't know if they're still connected. Felix, disconnect the ice and helmet tie-down strap. Start the cameras. And our guardian angel will take care of you.
Really high. What's all you got?
Stage 46.
A high-speed drop, and now you can see the little dot. There's the applause. So 2 minutes.
He's out of the north, 5-10. Get my
Eliminated
call.
Tears of Joy from Mission Control. And Felix now.
Felix,
Watches the ground.
here you the wind here out of the east at about 10 to 15.
So we're now at 6,000 feet.
This is Mission Control. Felix is current altitude under the chute is 6,600 feet.
Somebody has a highest jump.
We can't find you. The telemetry didn't work.
There it is. There's a closer shot from the helicopter.
The wind is out of the north, 5-10.
Beautiful shot.
Facing the 6 tower. Visualizing here, I'm facing the 6 tower.
Okay, if the wind's out of the east, I'm sorry, I give the wrong information. Out of the east.
All your Felix, we're coming your way, bud.
Carry on, buddy, clear.
Pretty.
Once again.
Felix, wind is out of the east. The wind is out of the east.
Under parachute, you have
We're coming your way right now.
quite a bit of control. But
Carry on, Mike, carry on. Land down and somewhere the direction.
now we see that stroke the earth below.
Felix's altitude is 5,800 feet.
It's 5,000 feet now, so oh, he wanted to see, I see. He wanted the smoke so he could see the wind direction.
Hey, Felix, the wind is coming from the ridge. The wind is coming from the ridge. No, towards the ridge.
Art
Sorry.
Thompson,
The wind
his
is coming
technical
towards
director,
the ridge.
the vertical status program, telling him that the wind is coming from the direction of that ridge that he's talking about. So he certainly got the highest jump mark that he was after. We'll find out about the Mach. Did he break the speed of sound as he hoped? There he's coming. And there you can see by the approaching shadow. He's just about there, and he's down on the down on his knees. What a shot. So he has the new record.
Mission Control shows recovery crew. It's at Felix's location. Also, Mission Control shows the wind has been cut from the capsule, and the capsule is on its descent.
So in there fast. He has the world's record now for the highest jump by far. Around 28,000 feet. So more than 24 miles up. Successful after all this training, all this work, all this time. There is the capsule being lowered. It has been cut away from the balloon. Its parachute deploying automatically, and the capsule comes down. to preserve the data and the pictures that are there. There's
Stratos capsule altitude is
family celebrating.
4,000 feet.
This is the Baumgartner friends, Felix Baumgartner Sr., his father, all celebrating here at Mission Control. There's the recovery helicopter very near where he landed, out to the east of Roswell. Yeah, we had unofficial word there on some of those statistics. It was a 4 minute, and this was unofficial as they got it in mission control. 4 minute
Mission control
and
Stratos
22
capsule at
second
88,000 feet and descending.
drop in free fall, so that would not break the Kippinger record for that. Would not break the record for the elapsed time of the free fall. And we'll see, did he break Mach? Those were speeds up in the 700 mile an hour mark. So I think that's unofficial and calculated a bit differently than the instrumentation aboard his
Capsule altitude
pressure
88,000
system.
feet and descending.
But that looks like he probably broke Mach, excuse me. But we'll see. That has to wait. And he broke the record, as we mentioned, for the highest manned balloon flight. Tense moments. The issue in flight with the visor, which was successfully resolved. There you have it. To the edge of space, a part of the record books. A successful climax to years of careful planning and development. Along the way, there were celebrating on the ground there at the scene now. More celebrations will follow here at Mission Control. So we're still awaiting final confirmation, but unofficially, new world records have been set for the highest free fall ever, the fastest free fall ever, as well as the highest ever manned balloon flight. And today was also a big win for science, as the Red Bull Stratos team collected valuable data that could ultimately help improve the safety of space travel and enable high-altitude emergency bailouts from spacecraft. The coverage doesn't end here. For more updates, including reaction from Baumgartner and the team, we encourage you to visit redbullstratos.com. Break the speed of sound as he hoped. Here he's coming.
man, he can slow down.